Once upon a time, there was a boy and a tree. The tree loved the boy very much, and the boy loved the tree also. There was nothing the tree wouldn't do for the boy. She would allow him to play in her branches, and she would also give him her apples whenever he was hungry. The boy grew older, but he still visited the tree every day. One fateful morning, he came up to the tree with a strange look on his face. "What is it?" she asked the boy. "Is something wrong?" "Tree," the boy began nervously, looking down at the ground and twisting his foot in the dirt. "You've often said to me in the past that you would do anything for me." He looked up at where he imagined her beautiful, barky face would be. "Do you still feel that way? Would you still do anything for me?" The tree started to feel concerned. "Of course," she said quickly. "Now, please, tell me what is wrong. I'm worried about you." "I think you're the most beautiful tree I've seen in my entire life. I find you more beautiful than all of the girls at school. I'm not interested in any of them. But, boy, I love you. I've loved you for so long. I tried to deny it because I knew that no one would understand, but I don't care anymore. I want to make sweet love to you, tree." The tree was stunned. Before she could react, he had taken off his shirt and his pants and slowly slipped down his boxers to reveal his enormous, throbbing manhood. "I've got morning wood," the boy quipped playfully, and he moved over to a hollow on the tree's lower front side. "I'm sorry if I'm being a little too hasty, but I need you now," said the boy, pressing his face into the tree's face forcefully, which hurt a little bit. The tree was powerless to stop him. She was rooted to the ground, and she'd be lying if she hadn't desired this for a long time. The tree lowered her graceful branches to press the boy hard against her trunk, unable to do much else. He ran his hands up and down the sides of her trunk and began to position himself over the hollow. The tree was unprepared for what happened next. The boy smashed his branch into the hollow strongly and continued to thrust into her slowly, but he was gradually gaining speed. The tree moaned, her branches creaking loudly as she twisted in pleasure. She wasn't familiar with what to do when engaged in the act humans referred to as sex, but she wanted to give him something in return for the amazing sensations crawling through her roots. She slid the branches down his spine and eventually discovered an opening in his person. She slid the smooth branch inside, figuring that it would work the same as how she felt when he was inside her. She continued to slide it inside, and he abruptly paused his movements. "I'm sorry," she gasped. "Is this wrong?" No. Keep doing it." He continued thrusting, and she moved her branch in and out of him in rhythm. Eventually, she became quite stiff. "Relax, baby," said the boy. "You're as stiff as a 2x4. The tree couldn't relax, for she was at her climax. She strained, and warm sap gushed out of her hollow and seeped onto his manhood. As the branch in his backside guided him, he pushed forward a few more times before ejaculating inside of her. She moaned, and she removed her love stick from inside of him. The semen and sap mingled together and looked like caramel vanilla ice cream, he noted, looking down. He realized he was hungry, especially after exerting himself so much. He reached his hand up toward an apple, and she dropped the fruit into his hand. He dipped the fruit into the tasty-looking concoction and bit into it. Apart from the sweet-tasting sap, he swore he could almost taste the vanilla. Smiling, he slid out of her with a grunt and laid down next to her. "That was amazing." "Yes, it was," the tree admitted shyly. "I'm sorry it happened so fast, but just looking at you got me as hard as a plank." The tree giggled, satiated. "Tree? Yes? I'm glad that I was finally able to give you something after all these years. Let's be together forever, no matter what anyone says about us, okay?" "I would like that very much." They remained that way for a long time, side by side, until the boy had to go home. But from that day forward, they were more than boy and tree. Later on in life, when the boy had become a man, they together became a family tree and raised several twigs.